I love to run because it just shows all the work that you put into it, and what you're really getting out of it is everything that you put into it. The effort that you give and that you keep giving and giving, and the fight that you keep pushing. I mean, it kind of relates back to family and all that stuff, just because you'll have those trials and stuff with family. I mean, I did with when I was sick, and so it just kind of kept me going.
I grew up in Central Illinois, and I did grow up in the church. My parents are believers, and I went to church and I participated in youth group, but I didn't have a relationship with Jesus.
I would say that ministering to Jay was a little bit difficult in the beginning of our marriage, just from that aspect of having to prompt every Sunday, we're going to church, right? We're going to church, right? This is going to be the Sunday, and not getting over those excuses as they came up.
My Great Awakening started in January of 2013. Our oldest daughter, Katie, spent 19 days in the hospital with a really severe stomach ailment and basically didn't eat for those 19 days.
The doctors were really dumbfounded. They really couldn't figure it out. It took them a good week to actually figure out that she had norovirus. I will say that when we entered the hospital, she was around 100 pounds. When we left, she was 86.
For the first 2 weeks of her illness, I relied on doctors and myself, Googling everything on the internet, trying to figure out what was going on with her, and never even thought to pray. My boss at the time at my place of work, John Henderson, could tell I was struggling. I was trying to work some and try and keep life normal for Julia. He could tell I was struggling, and he asked if I needed to pray or just talk. And so he brought me right into his office, shut the door, and started reading from Philippians 4:6-7 about not being anxious and trusting God. And so that really started to that gave me some peace. And then I was like, well, if this works, maybe I should reach out. And so I reached out via the food pantry email list and just asked for prayers for Katie and our family because she hadn't eaten in 2 weeks. The following Monday morning that I sent that out, I got a phone call from Lisa Miller-Rich on that Monday morning. And she said, Jay, we just found out about Katie through your email. We just had a gathering of the church staff and prayed for your daughter. 24 hours later, she was eating for the first time in 2 weeks. And 72 hours later, she was home. God is, it took something like this for God to get my attention. It shouldn't have, but it did. And what it made me realize is God is so much bigger than we can ever imagine.
Jay's change has really impacted our family in that we're tighter, we're closer, we do things together. We put the focus back where it should be, on Christ, and not maybe where it was.
I think it's really cool that he's one of the people that's kind of in charge for Welcome Home Haiti, because I don't know, it's only been a year since he's been really involved.
It still has been a long and slow recovery. That the girls actually ran a race this morning. That's her first race in over a year. That she's really been able to compete and do very well, very, very, very well. She's finally strong enough and able to compete, but that's a long road back. So for her to persevere and do it within God's grace, and we do really stress around here that God gets the glory. So we don't do too much around here without him anymore.